Relationship Exchange, SMD. And in case you were wondering what the SMD stands for, it is single, married, and divorce. So we're covering the whole spectrum of relationships. But even though we're talking about single, married, and divorce, we still can talk about family relationships, business relationships, hey, friendships, whatever it is. We want to talk about it on the Relationship Exchange. But I am your girl, Angela A. Love Lewis, and S. Marie is my co-host, and I'm laughing because we are swapped, but it's okay. Y'all know who's who, so it's okay. I'm looking down at the names like, okay. But at any rate, how are you?
I am great. I'm so happy to be here tonight. I got good energy. Ooh,
Good energy. We don't need no
yes.
negativity around me. Yes, I love
Right,
that.
right. It's the
Hey,
little wins,
Nicole,
I
thank you
love.
so
It
much
is
for
the little
tuning in.
wins.
We're glad to see you. So, yes, make sure y'all tag somebody, share the broadcast
Yes.
out. Y'all know we are doing some big things on the podcast. And I love it because last week we decided to come back after rebranding. It used to be Wife Talk, and we decided to expand, our audience to other people who, may not necessarily be married. Maybe, you were married and you're now divorced. Maybe you're single and never been married. But we wanted to talk to everybody when it comes to relationships because guess what? I don't care if you've been married 2 minutes or 52 years or you just in a relationship with somebody and you've been there for a while. We all go through the same things. We all deal with issues, because no relationship is perfect because no person is perfect. So we got to get that out of our minds, thinking that it's always going to be peaches and cream and honey and sugar or milk and honey or whatever it is you think it's going to be. It may not be, but that does not mean, hey, Miss Frida, if that may not mean that it's a bad thing. That's,
Right.
hey, because in challenges in relationship comes growth. And so, we want to make sure that we're growing in our relationships. We can't be stagnant. Look, you can't be in a high school relationship 15 years later. You got to have some growth in that thing, right? So, Marie, how are
Exactly.
you tonight?
As I said, I'm lovely. I'm in the studio tonight, feeling good. We look good. We got some good wife. Listen to me. I keep saying wife talk. You can't say wife talk no more. A love. I keep
I
wanting to
know.
say wife talk, but that's okay. We have some good exchange confessions tonight. I'm super excited. And guess what? You mentioned we opened it up for everyone. Well, guess what? We have a exchange confession from a male. I am
I
so
love that.
excited.
I love
Right.
that.
When I saw it, I said, oh, are we expanding? Hey, I'm so
Yes.
excited
So
that
hopefully he's
every
tuning in tonight.
say it again.
I said hopefully he's tuning in tonight to get the
Right.
response to what
Definitely,
he wrote.
definitely.
So
Listen, I'm excited about that because again, you mentioned it. We're opening the doors for everyone. It's just not about women, it's about people in general. We want to talk about what's going on and, help you through, words of wisdom, encouragement, positivity. It's an open door season for exchange confessions, honey, and we are ready. So if
all
you're
right.
ready, we're going to hop to it because we got three tonight.
I know I was going to say, honey, I'm like Nicole. Nicole said, I'm excited. Yes, honey, me too, Nicole. So we need everybody's help. We want y'all in the comments to help us
Yes.
with your thoughts as well as we talk about, these confessions. So, Esmery, go ahead and get started with the first one.
Okay, I want to jump to the man first. I'm so
Yeah, go
excited
ahead
about
and hit it.
this, right? Okay, so he says, ladies, 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 I enjoyed your show last week. I have a question. My woman is a hustler. She's things she's done. She is not afraid of work. However, she struggles with attentiveness. As a man, I believe in spoiling my woman and giving her my best. However, my girl doesn't reciprocate that same love and affection. How do I tell her I need love and attention without coming across aggressive or soft and without asking her to seem like she can't balance business and pleasure because I feel like I'm doing my part? Oh, you
Okay.
want to take
Come on,
it first?
mister. Come on, sir. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. He felt
Right.
comfortable enough to share that. So, you want to start
Yes.
it off?
I'll start it off. So, one, thank you for tuning in last week. Hopefully, you are tuning in tonight so we can give you something positive, and maybe give you
Yeah.
some words of wisdom that you can take back. So I love that you complimented her above anything else. You said she's a hustler, she's not afraid of work. Um, and you also made a point that, hey, I believe in spoiling my woman and giving her my best. Now that's beautiful. Every woman, person or wants someone who they are committed to give them their best. So shout out to you for recognizing her, and
Absolutely.
not coming across bashing. I love that you gave positive, but you said, "Hey, this is my problem." So what you're saying is that you need love and attention, and you don't want to come off soft. So I want to address that. A lot of times, and I'm going to say people, put my little quotes up, people
Hmm. Hmm.
assume that when a man wants affection or attentiveness, or he wants the things that he gives to you, he wants you to reciprocate that. That's not being soft. I hear men are supposed to cry. Why not? We're all
Exactly.
human. We
Exactly.
put our pants on the same way, one leg and foot at a time. So, who are we to say that men don't need to cry or have a moment,
Hmm.
or that they don't need love and affection too? Because they do. Men need affection as well. So to answer your question, how do I, ask her, or let her know that I need love and attention is simple. One, communication. And have, since you're always being attentive, or you want to spoil her, set up a wonderful date night and just start a conversation and say, do you like this, how you feeling? Yeah, I like this too. I think we should do things like this for each other, whenever we can. You can be direct and tell her what you want, or you can drop subtle hints if she's sensitive and you don't want it to seem like you're demanding her to be as attentive as you, but also take in consideration she may not know that's what you want. So you have to give her some grace, but at the same time, when she's receiving these wonderful, spoiled moments, that she realizes that she needs to do the same thing. It's great to have a woman or man who works and hustles and takes care of home. We love that, right? But again, everyone needs to feel loved, appreciated, and they want that affection to be given back, especially if they are giving it and truly feel like they are doing their best. Now, keep yourself open, because the same way you're saying, "Hey, I don't feel like I'm giving it," in her mind, she could be, she may feel like she is. So be open to hear exactly what she's saying back to you when you have this conversation. And again, no thin skins. It's not about soft, it's not about being aggressive, it's about keeping it real, because you want to know how she feels, you want her to know how you feel. But at the end of the day, when you're in a committed relationship, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So you have to have those uncomfortable conversations so you guys can meet somewhere in the middle. So communication is my advice to you. Let her know, what you're looking for, what you like. Talk about what your love language is, because she may not know. She may think, "Oh, we rolling tight, we're good, everything is peaches and cream," but it's truly not on your end. And you don't want a great relationship to go bad because you guys haven't had conversations about, your love language, what you like, what you don't like, how you receive and like to give love. A lot of times those are the things that we fail to discuss, and our relationship falls apart because we haven't had those strong, good conversations to let each other know how we feel. So communication, and always be willing to listen and be attentive as well, but also understanding. A love, I'll pass it to you.
Honey, come on, Dr. Esper Reed. That's what I'm talking about. Because that's really what I would say as well. We tend to love people from our love language, not realizing that somebody else's, your partner's love language is probably not the same as yours. And
Right.
so the reason why she's not as attentive is because that's really not her love language.
Mhm.
She's out here hustling and doing things. So maybe she shows you love in a different way, not understanding that you're really, needing to have that attention and everything. And please understand, it does not make you soft. to say that you want that, to say that, that's how you want your woman to spoil you like you spoil her. But it comes a point in time where maybe y'all need to sit down and really have, take the love language challenge, take that test. I think it's Rick Warren, I believe, that has the five love languages. And so find out, maybe do it, because as y'all are answering the questions together, sometimes as hustlers, you're out here getting things done. And so you're feeling like, hey, I'm pulling my weight, I'm contributing, I'm doing this. And I'm not paying attention to subtle things that are going on in the household because I'm so busy and focused on the hustle. Well, when you start talking and y'all are taking this test together, you're answering questions, and now she can actually listen and see that, oh, I didn't know you want me to rub your feet, or, oh, that's what you like. Oh, it's little
Right.
things that you may say that sometimes she'll pick up on it when she's not in a hustle mood, a hustle mode. Maybe y'all are watching a movie, like Esmery says, definitely have open communication. But some people, you got to find out, how does your wife pick up on things? Is she a person that needs direct communication, or is she the person where y'all sitting down looking at a movie, and this woman is rubbing her husband's head, and you're like, man, you know what, baby? Now you can tell she love him because look how she rubbed his head. And that might make a light go on in her mind, like, oh, maybe I need to start rubbing your head. Sometimes you just got to
Exactly.
figure out, how does your partner receive
Yeah.
information? Because sometimes we think, listen, I want you to do more of that, and they feel attacked because it's like, oh, so what you're saying I'm not doing enough, or you don't like, or what I'm saying, you start jumping to conclusions. And so you got to figure out how she receives information, and then
Mm.
bring it to her in that manner, so that way both of you can get what you want, and let her know that I spoil you because that's how I like to, show you my love. That's my love language. The things I do for you are the things that I like. And so,
Mhm.
start showing the things, and watch movies, or, point out some things that you really would like done for you. And so she can pick
Absolutely.
up on it. Because again, I don't know how long y'all been together. I don't know if she started off like that and got
Mhm.
into, business and hustling, and things kind of switched over. But, take the time to spend that quality time together, and
Mhm.
throw it out there and let her know, what you like. Because again, we think we're saying things sometimes, and you're actually not saying it in a
Not
way for somebody to pick it. What do they say? Are you picking up when I'm dropping? Sometimes people are
right,
not.
right.
Sometimes they're not. Nicole came back with question: how did the relationship start out in the beginning? She may not be attentive due to her hustling, has a lot on her mind. Hustling, what type of hustle is
Right,
she doing? you know and
right.
again, she's right. A lot of people who are out here,
Mhm.
grinding and hustling, they're just thinking, listen, I'm out here making it happen. He got a partner who's
Mhm.
not sitting at the house, and in her
Exactly.
soft girl era, she's out here grinding and making it do what it do. And for her, that may be
Mhm.
her love language to you, to say that, listen, we in a partnership, and I'm bringing it just like you bringing it. We're doing this together. But let her know that it's something else that you want in addition to that. It's more to just life than just hustling. So let's sit down one day, or maybe let's go away for the weekend, and let's
Mhm.
spoil each other. Think about some things that
Absolutely.
maybe, when y'all at home, she stays in hustle mode because that's what she's thinking. But when y'all go for a weekend getaway, she doesn't have to think about hustling. She can think about just pouring into you as you're pouring into her.
Right. And you made me think of something too. I'm a big gamer. Personally, I'm a big gamer, but also in relationships, I love to have couples night and build. And one thing you could do is make it out of a game. Get some pen and paper and have, love language, top 5 love language, actions of love, or top 5 things that I could do to make you feel better. Do things like that to find the answers that you need if you don't want to come out directly and say it. Just create some great ambiance and make it fun. Or it could be a game night, again, board games, and then you say, hey, one last game, paper game, let's go. Just depends on what her energy is and what she likes. But as Alo said, you will find the best way to handle it through communication. Closed mouth doesn't get fed. If you don't ask, you don't know. All right.
Exactly. And if you
So
can't be
let's move.
vulnerable with your woman, who are you gonna be vulnerable with?
And yes, exactly. That's my point. We have to be comfortable communicating the good, bad, and the ugly with our mates, right? Who
Right.
can you communicate everything about yourself other than a friend? You can't tell a stranger, but you lay with someone every night or most nights, whatever, if you're staying together or not, you're laying with that individual. You should be able to communicate with them and tell them what you're feeling and what you need to feel whole in that relationship. Because when you get spots in that relationship, they grow, they get bigger. Those little simple things, they start growing, and it turns out to be something, more than what it really needs to be, because there was a lack of communication. So make sure that you do communicate by any means necessary. Like I said, a game, just a chat, or creating ambiance so you can have that chat. And I'm not saying you always have to be the initiator, but in this situation, you're saying, hey, this is what I need. And apparently she hasn't caught it, or she doesn't know. So you definitely want to make sure that you are giving it in a way that she can't help but to receive it. So that is going to allow her to provide you with an answer. Because again, maybe she grew up in a home that there wasn't love, or
True.
there wasn't affection, or maybe her parents showed love and affection by doing things, by hustling. Maybe that's why she's a hustler. We don't know. And again, Nicole made a good point. How was it in the beginning of the relationship? Has it always been this way? Because if it's always been this way, then you know what? She doesn't see anything wrong, because that
Right.
communication wasn't there to say, hey, this is the one thing that we're lacking to get to the next level. So open your mouth, be attentive, make sure your tone is good. People receive things well when the tone and the pitch is right. So, just make sure you're doing your part and doing your best. As you said, you like doing your best for your women. So make sure you do your best at this moment as well.
Yes, that's good. All right, number two.
All right. So this one is a little different. Good evening, ladies. So I'd like to discuss friendship, platonic friendship. I have a friend who is not happy with me because of the choices that I make in life. I think she is being judgmental. Instead of that friend supporting me and being there for me, I feel like she is judging me. What can I do? I don't want to lose a friend, but I love who I am. Should I change to keep my friendship? This one's making me, oh, I gotta start. Okay,
Go ahead.
so
No, go ahead.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Um, you can't change who you are
Cannot.
to fit into someone's mold or to fit in their circle. Um, what you need to realize is that as people, when we start to change for someone else, that's what we're doing. We're changing for them. We're not changing for ourselves. So it's not genuine. It doesn't feel good. And at the end of the day, that person's happy because they're getting what they want, but you're over here in misery. So I would tell anyone, you don't change for anyone.
No.
You can compromise, you can discuss, you can, figure out ways to, get around the things that are going on, but you never change yourself to be what someone else wants you to be. You have to know who you are, accept who you are, and just be that. And the people around you, if they can't accept you for who you are, then those truly aren't your friends, right? It's different when you say, oh, I have a friend who just keeps it real. She's like so, she tells me, I want those type of friends because I need you to be real with me. Because otherwise you're gonna be real with someone else about me. And I'm not in the business of caring what people think about me anyway. However, what I don't want is for you to even feel like you have to go to someone else to talk about me. Come talk to me. Let's work it out. We can figure it out. But never change yourself to because you're afraid of losing someone. I've lost people in my life, male, female, relationship, friendships. And yes, I was sad about it. But one thing about S. Marie is S. Marie's going to be S. Marie. Aries all day, through and through, up, down, sideways. You have to be true to yourself. When you learn to be true to yourself, those individuals who are really there for you are going to be supportive. If you have someone in your life who's not being supportive just because they don't like the decisions that you make, here's the thing. If those decisions are not affecting them personally, you can't worry about them. It's different if you say, hey, I make these, choices when we're together and, he or she feels like they're in danger or something like that. That's different. Absolutely respect the people, that you're with. If you can't put anyone in danger or make them feel uncomfortable, but when it comes to just the life choices that you make about you, because what it says is that the choices that I make in life. So I'm interpreting that. And if I'm wrong, please, hit us back and let us know. But I'm interpreting that they don't like the choices that you're making for yourself. You can't live anybody else's life. You have to live your life, learn from your mistakes, and understand those are always lessons. Anytime we have something in our life that maybe doesn't go right, or it didn't go as planned, guess what? You learn something, right? You learn that you're not going to do that again. Or if you do, you're not going to do it that way. So you do it this way. But again, stay true to yourself. Don't worry about losing someone who may be seasonal in your life in the first place. We all have a reason in a season. That season could be up because the life choices. Have you always made these same life choices and now it's a problem? You know, is it, frustration? Is it jealousy? Is there something else that individual is not telling you? So I'll say the same thing to you. Communication is key. You have to find out what the problem is with your life choices and why is that person affected or offended or bothered by the choices that you're making. Now, again, if it entails them, absolutely they should have a voice. But if it doesn't and it's your business, they have to respect it. Real friends are going to appreciate you for who you are. And if you make a mistake, we're going to sit and watch. We might tell you, hey, you messing up, right? But at the end of the day, when you mess up, we're gonna cry with you. We're gonna sit with you. We're gonna call you. We're gonna check on you. That's what real friends do. And I love Nicole said, real friends pray for you, listen to you, and advise you. Always there for you. Absolutely. So if you have a genuine friend, just because you make a bad life choice doesn't mean that that person is not going to like you anymore. And again, if they don't, then that probably wasn't your true friend in the first place. So again, last thing, be you, be true to you. You can't worry about fitting the mold for somebody else. I love being me and I know that I'm imperfect. God made me that way. I know Jesus died for my sins and he knows that I'm a work in progress. But what we're not going to do is allow other individuals to judge me based off my actions and my opinions as long as I'm not harming them. If I'm harming myself, I'll listen to you, but I'm still going to do what I want to do, right? But I have to learn that lesson. And a lot of times people want to say, oh, don't do that because I did this, but I'm not you. Our situation isn't the same. We don't always think the same. And that was a lesson that you learned, not me. So I have to learn my lesson. So whatever you are doing, um, again, I pray it's nothing crazy. I pray it is just things that are making you happy, whether it's living vicarious, maybe, going to school, different jobs. I don't know. I'm not here to judge, but make sure you're happy, make sure you're safe, and pray about this friendship as well. Because, if you really love this person, you definitely want to pray for communication. You want to pray for clarity. You want to pray for understanding to find out why that person is bothered so bad. So that was a mouthful, but again, please be you. Don't change for someone else.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna read Nicole's other. She said, "I dropped these." She said, "I dropped those type of friendships. They are
Mm,
miserable. I love me, and I'm not going to change for no one unless God has changed me to be better. I love being true to me because you are the results." The thing
absolutely.
about it is, in friendships, again, as Marie said earlier, people are in your life for, they say reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. And
Mm,
sometimes we make a seasonal person a lifetime person when that's not really what they were supposed to be. It doesn't really matter how long you've been with somebody. You have to make sure that you choose you first and foremost.
mhm.
And if you love where you are in your life and you're happy, then either that person is going to maybe not like some of your choices, but still be your friend. And they still, maybe you love going to the club, and I'm settled, girl, and I just want to be at the house, binge watching some type of show,
Right?
and eating popcorn or whatever. I don't
Mhm.
have to go to the club with you to still be your friend. You know,
Absolutely.
we're because people grow at different rates. It's things that, some people may say, okay, I'm ready to settle down and get married. And you may say, I'm not trying to get married anytime soon or have kids.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we can't still be friends. People
Right.
grow differently, but at the same time, when you find yourself in a position where you have to question, in order for me to be your friend, if I have to change who I am, then
Mm,
maybe I need to reevaluate. And I'm not saying that it's gonna cut everything off, but maybe I need to feed you from a long handle spoon, as they say.
mm,
Meaning that I may
absolutely.
not see you all the time. I may not start, maybe you used to know my business. I don't tell you business now, because at bottom line, nobody can judge anybody else. Friends can give
No.
you constructive criticism. They can tell you some things to say, hey, I don't know if you thought about this, but this may be the consequences of you doing that. They can give it
Right.
to you, but bottom line, your friend should be that, whether you stay with him or not. I'm still riding with you. I'm still rolling with you, whether
Right.
this happens or not. I'm still down for you. If you need me, I'm going to be there, whether I like it or not. I'm going to be there for you. But if you have to change in order for someone to accept you, then again, like Esmery said, that's not the person that you need to be connected to on that
Right.
level. Because there's people out here who are going to love you just as you are. And if you love you, that's the main thing. Because you know how many people struggle to love themselves. So if you're in a good space
Absolutely.
in your life, don't wreck that trying to accommodate somebody else.
Right.
If you
Because you're
love
missing.
you, you love your life, then you stay in that. And I'm telling you, you're going to attract people who love you and love your life too,
Absolutely.
who not all twisted up about what you're doing, or any of those things. And the other friend will either get to a point where she says, you know what, I'm sorry, let me apologize, because I
Mhm.
should never make you feel like you have to change just so we can be friends.
Right.
And that's a maturity level. Again, we grow at different levels, and sometimes you outgrow other people. And if it's to a deal
Very
breaker, then let the deal be broken. But don't change you for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if they not with it and they can't get down with it, and they feel like, hey, I can't fool with you anymore, then sometimes you got to be like, hey, all right,
true. Say I'm out this piece.
I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? You got to be true and authentic to you. And when you start changing, you're
Absolutely.
compromising who you are, and you don't deserve that.
Absolutely. I love you. I had to chuckle. You said let the deal be broken.
Baby, then let
But
the deal
but
be broken.
but unfortunately, that is very true. You made so many valid points. And it's sad that you're even, anyone is going through that. And I'm going to pray for you definitely, because I've been there, done that. There's nothing like someone, judging you for whatever situation you're in or whatever your circumstances are. People have to understand we weren't here to judge. We weren't put on this earth to judge. We really were put on this earth to be fruitful and to spread the word. Let's be clear. But it offends me that people think so highly of themselves to either put someone down or to judge them or to make them feel inadequate, when truly indeed they may be the person inadequate. They, again, misery loves company, so that person again may be going through something. So again, I tell you to pray for the friendship, but pray more so for yourself, but pray for that individual too, because they could be going through something. Because if you've been this same way for quite some time, nothing like it would have came up prior to, I would assume. But again, if you're partying and that individual wants to stay in the house, or if you're staying in the house and that person wants to go out to the club, like A Love said, let them be them. You don't have to spend time with that person. You guys can find things that you both love to do, and that's your time, that's your bond. The things that you do that she doesn't like or he doesn't like, whichever one it is, and vice versa, don't hang out at that time. You don't have to do, people assume, oh, that's my best friend, we have to do everything together. No, you don't. You don't. There
You
are
know,
people
it's people that
who
you may have been friends with, and y'all don't even talk. You haven't talked to them in 2 or 3 years, but you can pick the phone up and call them, and it's y'all pick right back up where you left off. It's
absolutely,
people that you don't have to constantly be in somebody's space in order to
absolutely,
be a good business. I mean, a good being a good friendship with them. You don't have to
absolutely.
see each other or talk to each other on the phone all day, every day. The
Right.
reality is, when somebody, disagrees with how you live your life. The thing about it to me is just like if you say, okay, well, if we're in a relationship, married or single, but we're in a real relationship, not a platonic one, but we're in a real relationship.
Right.
If you feel the need to cheat, then just leave me alone and go on about your business and be free to go do what you want to do. Same thing with a friend. If you're not doing things that they are pleased with and they feel like they can judge you and all that, people are going to do that. But at the same time, they should be mature enough to say, you know what, there's some things going on that's not sitting well with my spirit. And I'm
Right.
not going to make you miserable. So we're just going to just make what choose to disagree and move on about our business. I wish you
Absolutely.
well. I'm not mad at you. I hope you have success. If you happy, be happy, baby. I'm just not going to be there to witness what's going on or to be a part of what's going on or to make you miserable trying to be my friend. We're going to sever
Absolutely.
ties. I'm going to wish you well and then go on in separate ways. But don't force somebody to be like you want them to be because you don't own
Absolutely.
anybody. You don't own anybody. People are going to make choices and they're grown, whether you agree with it or not. People are going to make choices and you can voice your opinion, but that doesn't
Absolutely.
mean that they have to change just because that's what you think.
Absolutely. I love that. That's so true. We ain't gotta say nothing else. You hit that. Mic drop.
Two for two, baby. Two for two. Wait a minute. Nicole got look. Come on, Nicole. She said
Come
last
on,
week
Nicole.
I was a friend with a good. I was a friend with a good friendship of 1 year. Talk about whatever. My friend decided to say I'm no longer calling you. I was in shock. I deleted the number and shut it down. Although that person apologized, I listened, but I kept it short and brief. The purpose why the friendship ended because I have a lot going on, so I don't ask for anything. Just listen and laughter. I couldn't understand it, but I moved on.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
Good for you.
Um,
Because at the end of the day, you have to love yourself more. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
I know that we're supposed to love one another and all of that, but love yourself more than to have
Mm,
somebody diminish you because they can't handle who you are.
absolutely.
Don't diminish yourself. Don't dim your light. Don't play
Right.
small. None of those things. Because sometimes people are, in reality, some people are jealous of you. And when that happens, yes, love yourself. Love yourself more. You can love somebody, but love yourself more that I'm not compromising who I am as an individual to fit into who you think I should be. That's not my job. My job is not to make you happy. My job is really to make God happy. And
Absolutely. He knew what you
hey,
was gonna do before you did it. So,
hey,
but
already, already.
you know what? I gotta give a this just made me think of it, whether she's watching or not. Jasmine, y'all gotta watch the Jasmine Fly show. First Love You. I was so impressed when I
Yes,
heard that. If you guys don't know who Jasmine is, she has a wonderful show, but the show is Fly. First Love You. So,
yes.
again, that's the key. When you love yourself, can nobody make you do anything that you don't want to do, feel no type of way because you're comfortable in your own skin. And I'm comfortable saying that because I used to feel that way. I was never comfortable in my own skin, felt like an ugly duckling, felt insecure. But you know what? God has a way of truly showing you who you are, which is his child. And baby, he created you in his image and you are the way he wanted you to be. So it doesn't matter, you know, what other people think or their opinions of you. You have to love yourself. And when you're so comfortable loving yourself and being yourself, like we said earlier, people are going to fall in line. Guess what? Because they like your energy. And I'd like to give a shout out to all the real friends, true friends out there who are supporting, doing calls. A Love, I listen to Empowered Mornings, love the show. If y'all
Thank
don't
you.
know, A Love, Regina Hutt, the one and only Sparkle Honey who shines, they have a great morning show. And you guys talked about, you talk about a lot of great things, but that's one thing that, you guys talked about friendship and loving yourself. And, you got to heal her, love her, empower her. That's important, and you
Yeah.
you have to understand that people who love you, they may have an opinion because they don't want to see you hurt or go through things, but more or less they're not going to leave you, they're not going to leave your side because you are, not where they want you to be or doing the things that they want you to do.
Right.
They're going to have your back. So if you fall, they're right there to pick you up. They might fall with you. And I love it. Nicole says, shout out to the real friends, real, true, dedicated friends. Kathy
Mhm.
Creed, like my sister. Absolutely. I mean, A Love, you, one of your close friends got married over the weekend. Shout out to Monica G. Found her best
Yes.
friend, but
Come
her
on,
other
you
best
supported.
friend supported. Absolutely. So, I love the fact that, you know, people, we do have real friends. And my suggestion to you, and I promise this is the last one, find out what's going on. But if you find that that energy is still not right and there's no true, rhyme or reason as to why that person isn't, or doesn't want to be or show associated with you or wants to judge you, then you know what, you pray so God can relieve you of that situation so you can make room for some new friends, some good friends. Because I
Yes,
have
honey.
friends that I talk to weekly, and I have friends who I have friends that I haven't talked to in a month or two, 6 months. But you know what? When I call them and when they call me, it's like we talked yesterday. And we love each other and we support each other. I may not talk to them for 6 months, but hey, I'm doing an event at my house, or hey, I'm going to be here. Would you like to come? I miss you. I love you. I want to see you. But you know what? They show up because they love me. They don't judge me. Girl, I ain't talked to you since last year and you calling me. I don't get that. Because when you have real friends, that's what they do. They support you, they love you, and they rock with you right, wrong, or indifferent. Because at the end of the day, in the street, they we aces. There is nothing going on. But when we get back in the house, now, girl, you know you was wrong. We're gonna talk about it, but I'm still your friend. I still support you. And I only mention it out of love. So whoever is in your life that's not mentioning, what's going on in your life out of love, drop them like a bad habit and make room for some good people in your life.
Yes. All right. On to number
All
three.
right. Number three. This made me emotional because y'all are talking about me. I try to be private. But this one, someone says, Dr. S. Marie, you are a real doctor. That's wonderful news. I looked you up and congratulations on your PhD. First and foremost, thank you. I'm humbled. I tried to hold it and keep it a secret, but people are out there. They're proud of me. Thank you for being proud of me. It was something on my spirit and I kept praying about it, and that's what he led me to do. So absolutely, it is the best feeling in the world to accomplish something like that, and having a purpose. So I didn't just get a PhD to have a PhD. I got two PhDs because I wanted them, and plus I felt like that's where God was leading me to. So to have that being well received by everyone, thank you so much.
Yes.
um
Congratulations.
Thank you. Look, A Love, she gonna say it every day. Congratulations. She's so proud of me. Like
Yes.
that's my big sister.
Dr.
She
S.
proud, right?
Marie. Yes.
But this one says, now help me, please. And we got you. Okay. We about to help you. It says, how can I tell my husband that I want to go back to school? We are over 50 and our kids are out of the house. He's pushing for early retirement, but I'm ready to make a life change and go back to school. Financially, I can handle it with the help of my job, providing tuition reimbursement. But how do I tell him that I'm not ready to slow down? I'm ready to make life changes now that our kids have graduated and are out of our house. I think if I slow down, I will feel old and become old. And I'm crazy. Am I crazy for wanting to go back to school past 50? So you want to start, or you're like, no?
Hey, you already know at certain ages, a lot of times parents tell, when you're young, go to school, get a good job, retire, all of those things. But it's a lot of people who, when they hit their 40s or 50s, that's when they're looking to reinvent themselves. That's when they're looking to get into something new. That's when they're looking to um, experience something different. And so, to me, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to go back to school. One of the tips we talked about on the Empower Morning Show is that successful people always learn. They're always wanting to, get new information and educate themselves. And so,
Mhm.
yes, Nicole says you're never too old to learn. And so, what I would suggest is you and your husband having a conversation and ask him, now that you're whatever age, what do you see your life being like? And let him tell you. And then you say, you know what? Now that I'm turning 50, what I really would love to do is go back to school and follow my passion. I'm really thinking about doing X, Y, and Z, and I would love your support. And let him see what that looks like, because at the end of the day, you owe it to yourself to be true to yourself again with who you're wanting to become. And just because he's wanted to stop working and retire and maybe travel and do some things, you can still do that, but
Absolutely.
at the same time, you're also wanting to pursue your passion and include him in on that, so he feels a part of that, so he knows what's going on, so neither one of you feel left behind, but enjoy both aspects, because he can be at home. He may decide to take him up a hobby. Everybody
Right.
says I want to retire, but then when you get home, you like, you know what, it's only so much binge watching and so much cleaning out the closets and so much tinkering around the house and fixing things, and then when that's said and done, now you need something to stimulate your mind, because again, like you say,
Absolutely.
you don't want to be old. You don't want to be settled down and be couch potatoes. You want to go out and do some things, and there's nothing wrong with that. And the beauty is, if your job is able to, reimburse you for tuition, that's the perfect time to do that, where it's not a financial strain on the family. So take advantage of the opportunity to go and further your education while somebody else is paying for it, and then pursue that passion, because again, you're never too old to learn. You're never too old to start, your whatever your passion project is, put it out there, but keep it open where he knows, baby, you, just because I'm doing this don't mean that I'm shutting you out. I want you to be a part of this. Bounce the ideas off of him. Tell him what you're learning, what you're planning, because as he is thinking one thing, you never know. He might be like, you know what? I never even thought about that. And I know you will be great at it. So, how about, and give you some suggestions. But if you feel like it's too much and you don't want to talk about it because you don't think he's going to agree with it, that's doing a disservice to you and him, because I think that as you communicate, that's what allows your relationship to get deeper, that allows your relationship to grow, that allows you all to, start experiencing different things together. So as he may say, you know what, I want to travel and go see the world. Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to school and follow my passion of doing X, Y, and Z. It doesn't mean that one is mutually exclusive of the other. You can take that laptop and go to school and be out on the beach in
Everywhere.
Hawaii somewhere, and still, as long as you got an internet connection, you can still study and do the things that you do, but you can still spend that quality time traveling. So
Right.
just be able to communicate what your needs and desires are, and let him know that, hey, if you want to be on the couch, that's fine, but listen, maybe let's take a walk together. Let's build whatever we're doing at this stage of our lives together, even though it's not the same. Maybe you want to retire and I want to find a new passion. We're not doing the same thing, but whatever we're doing, we're still doing it together.
Absolutely. You dropped some gems. So let's backtrack a little bit. Shout out to both of you. Over 50, your kids are out of the house. Obviously, they're doing well. They're not in your house. Shout out to you for that. That's an accomplishment. The fact that you also have the ability to retire early.
Mm-hmm.
In this, when milk was $4,
Baby, what you say?
that's
Shout out and
listen.
congrats to you.
I have to give you guys flowers. That's great. That he's even, ready for that, that you both are ready for that. But what I would love to say is let him retire because that's what he wants to do, as A Love said, and you do what it is that you want to do. Never, I'm sorry, never fear telling your spouse or loved one what you want to do.
Exactly.
And the only reason I say that is because I've been there. I had a fear of telling somebody this is what I wanted to do. And it's that fear of rejection that we have, right? But if you're doing the work and there's no requirement of that other individual, never be afraid of that. Never be afraid of school. And school is not for everybody. So maybe that's, you have that fear because that's not something, your husband wants to do, and that's fine. But it's what you want to do. You've been a mother, you've raised your children. Obviously, you've, thought about all the financial strains this may put on, and you have some sort of backup because there are corporate positions who will provide tuition. Mine did. When I was going for my bachelor's and master's, they did. It was great because tuition can get expensive.
Very much so.
So yes, very expensive. So, again, don't be afraid, but never be afraid to educate yourself. I have people who talk all the time. Oh, I looked at your website. Where are those certifications from? I did. Well, why do you do that? Because I don't need you to tell me something that I could read, something that I can figure out for myself. Players Club movie, never trust anybody's information but your own. Okay. How are you going to get that information? You're going to research, you're going to educate yourself, go back to school, read a book, whatever it is. But you have to do what makes you happy, even over 50. And let's be clear, I'm not over 50. I'm not there yet. However, my son is but no shade, no shade at all. But I say that to say I just completed my last degrees within the last 60 days. So it's not it's never too late to do what you want to do.
Never.
Your age is Aaliyah. Age is nothing but a number. Okay. I'm giving y'all references, right? I want y'all to think about this. Age is nothing but a number. You are only as good as the information given, right? So
Right.
if you know in your mind and your heart that thank you. She said we both
I
look
know,
good.
right? Look,
I'm
girls, I
just
know
kidding.
we both
Thank
look
you.
good. Thank you, boo.
Right. But never fear wanting to better yourself. And if you get pushback, again, reevaluate that situation too. And you can't reevaluate your husband, but reevaluate the situation in the conversation. Because that's a conversation that you need to have. Hey babe, why is this a problem? Do you have a fear of me going to school? Are you worried about this? Is there something I'm not thinking of financially, or something, that you wanted to do? Is there any way that I can get what I want, but you get what you want as well? So, have that conversation, because again, you might have thought about all of the financial things that, you have going on, but maybe he thought of something else. Maybe he was counting on, those extra funds that you and him may have, to do something different, to do something special. You never know. So, have the conversation, but never dumb yourself down, or feel like you can't step into your greatness because you're afraid of someone else. And if you guys have been together this long, because obviously you have grown children, he's going to listen, and he's going to see your passion, right? He may not agree with it, but a spouse is going to support his mate, and vice versa. He she you we support our mates whether we like it or not, because you know what, their happiness is what matters. To see my spouse happy about something, that makes my day. But in my mind, I'm like, that is the specialest stuff ever. Okay. But again, if there's a smile on that individual's face because they're doing something that they love, or that they want to do, that makes them feel free, or it fills a void, let them be great.
Yeah.
So my advice to you is never be afraid to tell anybody what you want to do. Go for the gusto. You're never too old. It doesn't matter. And I will tell you, there are other countries where I had a conversation with someone the other day, and forgive me, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying that their parents are like 79 and they're still working. And I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. And he said I think it was a male, and he said his father is afraid to not work because he feels that his bones won't work. And, that's he'll grow old faster.
Wow.
And, they're of Asian descent. And I lived in Korea for some time when I was younger. And I do recall seeing a lot of the older people still working and moving around. And when you find out their age, and they're still carrying things, walking, no car, not because they can't afford it, because they don't want to. They want to be active. So again, when you keep your mind and your body fresh and going, there is longevity. I read this woman, she was on the news. I will remember her. The woman was 97, beautiful, older African American woman. She said she was 97. I really thought she was in her 70s. She was beautiful. And she said every day she had her a shot. I think she said a shot of whiskey, but she said she did push ups at 79 years old.
Wow.
I don't do push ups every day, nowhere near 79
Mm,
nor 97.
thank you.
But that was her remedy to keeping her young and vibrant and mobile, to exercise and to have whiskey. Now, I don't know, what the greatness of whiskey was. I don't drink whiskey, but I've heard some people say they have red wine. It's good for your eyes, it's good for your heart,
Mhm.
so again, you're never too old to do anything in life. Your only limits and impediments are you being afraid to step out on faith and do it in the first place, especially something that's going to elevate you. Elevation takes resilience. You have to be resilient. So if you know that you want to elevate yourself, be resilient, take those classes, register for school, do your work. As A Love said, travel with your laptop, and there are classes that you can actually graduate as long as you're not clinical. You can graduate by taking all online classes. I didn't set foot in a school. I don't like to. I felt like I was older. I don't want to go and sit in a
Yeah,
classroom with.
look, the laptop is your friend, honey. And as long as you got an internet connection, you can be
There you
anywhere.
go. Boom. And again, it's so easy. And that's the great thing with technology and the world that we live in. It's forever changing. So just know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Just have that conversation. Express your passion, the importance, and why you want to do this. And I'm sure he's gonna understand. And never worry about your age. The fact that you want to go back to school is amazing. So go for it.
Absolutely. I love the advice. The confessions have been great tonight, as they were last week. And you know what? Hopefully, we are giving you some food for thought. Again,
Mhm.
you are grown to make your own decisions, but sometimes it helps to have, other people's opinions and feedback. And, like they said back in the day, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Whatever you feel like is going to work for you, then that's what you take. And if you feel like, hey, sounds good, I don't think it's going to work for my situation, guess what? That's okay too.
Right.
Because bottom line, this is your life to live. But the thing about it is, be true to you and prioritize yourself. Because again, when you talk about, like they say, feel when you're in the airplane, and they always say you put your oxygen mask on first. When you are true to yourself and prioritize yourself, that means you're a healthy, whole individual. And when you
Absolutely.
do that, you're bringing so much more to the relationship. When you're dealing, whether it's friendship, whether it's marriage, whether it's dating, whatever that is, when you are healthy and your cup is full, then the overflow is beautiful that people are getting from you, because there's no shade, there's no judgment, there's no trauma, there's no drama, there's no foolishness, there's no anything. They're not looking for you to dumb yourself down. They're not trying to have you people please. All of that, those things don't
Absolutely.
happen when you are genuinely in a good space. And a lot of
Absolutely.
times we allow other people to put us in bad spaces. But when you're true and authentically you, that's the best space you can be in. And I'm
Yes.
telling you, when that genuineness and that positivity and that light is shining, you're drawing people to you, and it makes it better. So, wanting to go back to school at 50, if that's what you want to do, fill your cup. Fill your cup,
Right.
sis. Be who
Yes.
you want to be. And I'm telling you, your husband is going to love it, because he's going to see that you're coming from a space of excitement and enjoyment. If he
Absolutely.
loves you, he wants you to be in that space. He wants
Right.
you to be happy. He wants you to pursue your passion. He's not trying to talk you out of that or pull that down. So, our mindset, sometimes we expect the worst. We think that, if ask this, it's going to be a problem. But if you shift how you see things, and then you say, you know what, I know he loved me, and whatever it is that I want to do, if it's not anything detrimental to our household, He's going to
Right.
support me in it. And when you approach it from that perspective, watch God work it out for you. So that when you talk about it, he's going to be like, hey, babe, whatever you need to do, that's cool. The job is paying for it, even better. If you need me to help you with some concepts or whatever, let's talk about it. But again, when you're true to yourself, I'm telling you, that's a confidence booster that puts you in a good mental capacity. Because I'm telling you, sometimes as we're people pleasing, that's putting you in anxiety. That's putting you in spaces where
Absolutely.
you're unhappy. That's attributing to mental health issues. When you are out here being in dysfunction, trying to live a life that is not really who you are, not really
Mhm.
what you want to do. And the more miserable you become, that means that you're going to be easily irritated, easily frustrated. That
Absolutely.
means that your mouth is going to be a little slicker than it needs to be. That means that, you're going to have an attitude about certain things because
Very
you're not getting
true.
your way. So now it's going to come out into
Absolutely.
your relationship. Because I'm telling you, when you're not happy in the inside, it comes out in other ways that affect your relationship. So when you
Absolutely.
think that I don't know what to do and I'm just going to, not say anything, you start to become resentful, and that starts to
Right.
attack your marriage. So before you
Absolutely.
let that happen, have a conversation with your husband. Let him know that this is
Absolutely.
what you want to do, that this is something that you feel like being still is going to be something that's going to make you feel old. And if you
Mhm.
start feeling old, then you'll start looking old and you start becoming old. So it's nothing wrong with keeping the education. Good evening, Miss Doris. Nicole said knowledge is power for you both. I'm enjoying myself and I'm learning.
Great. Great. We appreciate that. A Love is dropping gems tonight. I couldn't have said that better myself. You
Okay. Picking up
you
some
can
things from
jump
the
with
doctor, from the good doctor. Yes.
listen. It's truly, our experiences in life are what guide us through. You can only focus on what's in front of you. You can't worry about what's behind you. But you definitely want a support system. So I agree. Have that conversation and push forward. Don't be afraid. Again, you can work out anything if you communicate with each other. So
Absolutely. So yeah, this is we're almost at the hour. So we appreciate you being here,
absolutely.
Nicole. Thanks for all of the good advice that you gave and sharing some of your experiences. If you're interested in sharing your confession with the exchange confession, or you have a situation going on and you just want somebody else's point of view, you can submit yours. Go to bit.ly/exchange confession. It is running across the bottom of the screen. Go there, submit your confession or your situation or whatever you want to call it, but submit that so that we can, talk about it next week or whenever you submit it. Because we
Absolutely.
want to be able to, share our opinions. And again, you don't have to follow what we say, but sometimes listen to somebody else's thought process helps you in making a decision with yours. And so
Yes.
that's what we want to do, is give you some good positive, because again, we want to keep it positive. We want to keep it to where you guys are working it out, having open communication, moving forward together, not creating dysfunction and all these other things. We want to see you be great and be great together, and we don't want to have any blockers to your greatness, right? So that's what we are here for. Esmery, anything else you want to say before we end for the night?
No, ma'am, you wrapped that up perfectly.
Well, listen, we want y'all to come back and see us again every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Invite somebody. Go to our social media platforms. I'm telling y'all, we are looking for and thank you, Nicole said good, positive, great energy.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We want people to tune in, like I said, and share, because as we're sharing our opinions, we want you to be in the chat and helping as well, because we all have experiences, different
Yeah,
levels of experiences. And so there's no right or wrong answer. We're just,
right.
helping people to make better informed decisions. So again,
Ooh,
go to the bit.ly/exchange confessions if you want to submit something, and join us back here next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the relationship SMD, which is single, married, and divorced. Y'all have a great rest of the week, because tomorrow is hump day. So y'all know, hey, winning Wednesday, make it happen. We'll see y'all next week.